What we have here is a Mortising Attachment jig, which is designed to be put on a drill press, and it comes with pretty much with everything you need. The most important thing is the actual fixture that attaches to your drill press just underneath the depth stop, and it comes with a variety of collets. This is the one that works on my old drill press, okay, and that's what I'll be using. But you have more choices. That's why they call this a universal mortising kit. Encased in a polypropylene rugged case, and inside it is pretty stiff neoprene to keep this stuff organized and protected. Right here is the fence, and on the fence are your stock holders, which are optional. I'll be showing you the way I'm going to do it. It comes with two clamp downs, so you can attach that to the base of your machine. And it also comes with 4 different sizes of square chisels with the matching auger bits inside. You get a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/8, and 5/16. I'm going to be using the 1/2 inch one. So let's go over to the drill press and see how this stuff goes on. The first thing I noticed when I was trying to fit this thing on my drill press was that my depth stop was way down here, just above the chuck, and it didn't give me any surface to attach the chisel holder. And I got lucky in that when I started cleaning it up, I figured out that there was a nut here, and I could loosen it off and tap it up to the position that I wanted. And there was also a retention spring here that I just didn't know. I think that was just meant for it not to fall off, and I discarded that. So now, the first thing to do is put on these sleeves, and it's a little bit finicky. You need to make sure that the opening where they meet lines up with the opening where this closes. And we'll do that now. I'm really surprised. This machine is very, very old, and it actually works. Okay, you want to make sure that that's clamped down snug, because you do not want that thing to deviate. The next thing to do is put the fence on loosely. For now, I'm going to take my stock holders off and get this thing located. I also included this bar here, which fits perfectly in the chisel holder, and that allows you to locate your fence more accurately. And if this thing is really hard to get on it, it would also help you to press it on slowly. Okay, that's where I want to be. This lever is on a spring, so if you lift it up, it loosens up the bolt, and you can snug your square locator things that are underneath in place. And then when it drops that back down, that's where you get your leverage to tighten it. Okay. Our next step is to install this stop collar, and it mounts on a post that has a flat edge, and the flat edge is important in order for us to get a nice secure fit there, and that's pretty precise. Then this slips over the top, and that'll go down onto the top of your stock to hold it down and in place. Right now we'll leave it floating. The next thing to do is to put the square chisel in. Get a piece of stock down there. Okay, this square chisel here it's got a shoulder on it, and that's meant to fit perfectly up in this hole here. And snug up against the base of it. But in order to locate the auger bit properly, I'm going to give it about a 1/16 of an inch gap. And what that does for me is when I put my auger bit in, I can get the wood underneath it. I've got my auger bit in there now, and it's maxed out. It's a little bit too long. And if that's the case, then you have to grind it shorter. What I'm going to do, instead of ruining the auger bit, because I don't own it, is I'm going to go down to my line, which I have yet to scribe. Now what I need to do is set my depth at the right height, and what I want is the top of this crescent in the square chisel. I want it to line up with the line that I've drawn. Alright, I've made a change because this is not a setup that I'm dedicating to this machine, so I secured the fence to a piece of wood that I can easily clamp to the base. And I've got one clamp in place, and I want to adjust it to the centered line of the mortise that I aim to make, and give it another clamp. Okay, and let me make sure my depth is correct. Again, I want the line that I want to go to match up with the top of the crescent in that square chisel. And it does. Now, instead of using these arms, okay, you can hold your wood in place with these two arms, make your plunge, but then every time you want to move the thing, you've got to loosen them off and move it around. So what I'm going to do is clamp another piece of wood against it so it can slide freely. Okay? We'll get that done now. One thing I'll point out is that you want the edge of your square chisel to be square with the line that you're going to. And in my case, I got lucky. But you might have to undo it and tweak it a little bit and secure it again. And my last step before making our mortise is to clamp the baby down in place. Okay. Dry lube. Someone suggested on YouTube that dry lube is a good thing. Now that we're all set up, let's give her a run and see how she works. Okay, this is some very tough mahogany, and I'm asking it to make a very deep cut. One thing I didn't point out was it's recommended that between 1,000 and 1,500 RPMs is the best speed to work at, and I adjusted mine to 1,400 because that was the closest I could get to 15. Now I'm going to slide it over to the other end. Find my line. and get that hole done, and then we can go through and clean up as we go. One important thing is to have the front and the back of the chisel contacting wood, but not to have a third part of it floating. It's better to make your holes a distance from each other and then go back and clean them up. One more and we're pretty much there. Oh, now it works. All right, let's have a look and see what we've achieved. To be honest, I've never used one of these things before. I've used a stationary machine and I've done them with routers and chisels. But this is the first time I've had the opportunity to use this attachment. All right. I could have gone and made that cleaner, but time is money, and I'd say this little attachment is well worth the money. Thanks for watching.